What can a similar wardrobe teach us about being God's children? We'll talk about that in just a sec. Welcome to the show. I'm Daniel Dalp, and this is For Your Sunday Morning Drive, the short podcast with the goal of providing some motivation, drive, and encouragement, and helping you to recenter your mind on those spiritual things on a hectic Sunday morning. Before we get started this morning, I have a small favor to ask of you. If you're enjoying the podcast, could I ask you to share it with a friend or a family member? And if you've already done that, a way that would really help the show is if you leave a rating and review wherever you listen. Or you can do that on our website at foryoursundaymorningdrive.com. Thanks in advance. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road this morning. This is episode 113, The Same Shirt. Let's go to church.
Are we there yet?
Last Sunday night, I worshiped with the Washington Avenue Church of Christ in Evansville. It's where I grew up and where my father is currently serving as an elder. And I was running a little bit behind, as sometimes happens when you have kids. So I threw on the first shirt that I saw in my bedroom and I headed out the door. Well, we arrived with only a few minutes left to spare before services began, so I was scanning the usual spots for my parents. And oh boy, I found him. The first person I noticed was my father. And the first thing that I noticed about him was that we had, completely by coincidence, worn the same shirt. Now, we both had a good laugh. And believe me, many others did too. And some even commented and told me, "You look just like your father." And it's true, as you would expect, or hope. Sometimes it's a compliment. Sometimes I'm not so sure, but it's true. Though he has a few years on me, and I certainly have a few pounds on him. But yeah, in some ways, we look alike. Our hair is graying in the same way. We basically have the same beard. We have the same proclivities towards Hawaiian shirts. And that seemed to play the key role in our current situation. That same red shirt. It's something that happens in families. Children often begin to resemble their parents. They may have the same eyes, the same smile, the same mannerisms, or even the same way of speaking. And in the same way that we resemble our physical families, the same should be true about our spiritual ones. The Bible teaches that Christians are a part of God's family. In 1 John chapter 3 verse 1, John says, "See what kind of love the Father has given to us, that we should be called children of God." And if God is our Father, then it ought to show. No, of course not in our physical appearance, but certainly in our character. Jesus, in Matthew chapter 5, taught us that we should love our enemies so that we may be sons of our Father in heaven. And Paul, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1, says, "Be imitators of God as beloved children." When people watch us interact with others, do they see our Father's patience? Do they see His mercy, His kindness, His grace, His holiness? Because the older I get, the more I find myself looking like my dad. And Dad, if you're listening this morning, I'm going to take that as a compliment. But spiritually, the longer we walk with God, the more we should begin to look like our Heavenly Father as well. And maybe that's a good question for us all today. If someone looked at my life, can they tell whose child I am? And if we're God's, do we, as Romans 8:29 says, conform to the image of His Son? Yeah, I'm begrudgingly happy to wear the same shirt as my dad. But when it comes to my Heavenly Father, I don't just want to wear the same shirt. I don't just want to look the same. I want to be cut from the same cloth. Question is, are we? Well, those are my thoughts for your Sunday morning drive. Now it's time to hear yours. Our discussion questions for this week are we striving daily to truly show that we are children of God? If someone who knew nothing about your faith observed your life for a week, what evidence would they find that you belong to God's family? And when people spend time around us, what qualities do they see that reflect God's character? Hey, thank you for listening. Thank you so much for making us a part of your week whenever you listen. I certainly appreciate it. Put on a clean shirt. Don't forget who your father is. And I'll see you Sunday.
We're here.